my collection. So obviously I've got a few soft toys, Lovecraft themed. A little octopus dude, and then this Cthulhu soft toy. Everybody has them. So the first thing I got, which I said in my last video, was this Whisper in Darkness. This was my version of the stories I first read. This is really good. It's only $2.99 and it was a good collection. So then I kind of had a look around to try and find some others, and I saw these on eBay. This is The Doom That Came to Sarnath and The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath. So, and they're close to being novels. They are both quite long, but they're both Dreamlands, and like I said in the last video, I'm not really that keen on Dreamland. So straight away, the next few things I read of Lovecraft, I wasn't that keen, but they kind of look nice, so that's cool. So then I had a little look around, and then I found out about these American omnibus versions that collect everything. So I bought volume 2 and 3, and that meant that I basically have everything by Lovecraft. So these are ones that I read that I caught up on all the other stories, and I would recommend these. Are really good. So then I found another one that looked like it came from the same set, but this one is actually other writers writing Cthulhu stories, and it's got like a whole load of them all from throughout the 20th century right up to the modern day. To be honest, I'm not that keen on most of them. I don't think anybody can do Lovecraft as well as Lovecraft, but it's cool to have them there. I haven't made it all the way through this book, but it's pretty cool. So then I got the Necronomicon hardback. Somebody bought this for me, but I was very pleased with it. I think I asked for it. It was like birthday or Christmas or something. But it's really good. You know, you get like this picture of Arkham. You get all these pictures. Every story starts with a little picture, and it's even got these facsimile copies of his original notes. It's just a great way to have all of his stories together in one set. It's not his complete works. They finished it off with this second volume, which makes up his complete works. So, and it comes with this hilarious picture. So again, you know, all the same illustrations and the facsimile stuff in there. And like I said, it's just good to have them all in one nice posh set. So there's this thing called the H P Lovecraft Historical Society. It's this American website that does lots of different things. One of the things that really made them was when they made this movie. It's like a black and white silent movie in the style of the 20s, but it was made modern. So this is the first thing I bought, and then it came with this little thing, and it told you that you could buy all this cool stuff on their website. So I went on their website, and I just couldn't believe it. You can buy all these crazy props and everything that are all Lovecraft themed, and it's supposed to be for playing RPGs, but I mean, I just love buying it anyway. But one of the best things they had were these radio plays, which they called Dark Adventure Radio Theatre. So eventually I bought this box to keep them all in, but I was buying them all one at a time as they came out. So I keep them all in this box. I'll just get them out and show you what I got. So the first 4 are here. So this is what they look like. They come in CD. You can also get downloads of them, but you should definitely get the CDs. I think, yeah, Shadow of Innsmouth, Dunwich Horror, Shadow Out of Time. So they all come with these amazing inserts, and they're all these like props and stuff that kind of relate to the story, and they're just really, really well made. They're very realistic looking. I think if I just have a look through here, you can see they've even got a little matchbook with one match left and a note, which is relevant to the story. It's just so fantastic. It's like a full cast dramatization. With sound effects and everything. They're very, very believable. So they made a better box, which is this one, which I got when I got the next 2 in the set. And so these 2 are Case of Charles Dexter Ward, my favourite story, and The Call of Cthulhu. They've done 2 more since then. I think they've done 3 more actually, which I've yet to buy, but yeah, very cool. And I bought loads of stuff from this website. Like stickers and all different things like that. Yeah, there's another sticker I got, and I also got a mug. Here it is. They also, you can get like a prop CD, and then you print out and download. You print out on posh paper all the different things, and then you can make up your own little props yourself. So that's what I did, and these are some of the things I came up with. which is very cool. Just a few little things to like have in your pocket or whatever if you're a massive nerd like me. You can also join the society, and they give you this cool little membership card. There it is. And you get a certificate which you can frame or whatever you'd like to do with your name on it. There's my name. Fantastic. They made another movie. This time a talkie, The Whisper in Darkness, is also really good. I'd recommend that you try the first one first and then that one, but they're both very good. They're not as good as the radio shows though. They also did, this is hilarious, they did a couple of CDs of Christmas carols where they actually sing the Christmas carols, but they're all like Lovecraft themed, like the lyrics are changed to be Lovecraftian. These are a staple of my Christmas. I also bought the songbooks so that I could sing along and annoy my girlfriend. There we go, that's those. I got a few other things, a little pencil from Arkham Asylum and some playing cards with Lovecraft on them. Just loads of stuff to buy on there. It's so good. It's just a shame it all comes from America, so I have to pay extra for it, but there we go. It's life. So getting back to Lovecraft, this is my encyclopedia. This is incredibly nerdy. This is detailed information about every single story and every person in Lovecraft's life. I keep this with me when I read the stories because I can then consult everything, so I know everything about every story. It's really overly detailed, but if you like the stories and you're a nerd, I would recommend it. It is really good. So another big thing about Lovecraft is the RPG that was made in the 80s, I think. So this is it. This is it's like a tabletop pen and paper RPG. I've never actually played it. The rulebook alone puts me off. It's just far too complicated. The HPLHS Society was founded on setting up games of this for people. I do want to give it a crack, but I haven't yet. I even bought myself some dice to go with it, which is those. Okay, so a few other book things I got. This is Brian Lumley's Lovecraft Stories. I just bought this omnibus edition in a charity shop, but it's actually worth quite a lot now, just because it's hard to find, so that's cool. I also keep this Edgar Allan Poe novel, the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym, because it's very Lovecraftian, because Lovecraft was a huge fan of this book. It's generally not liked. It's a brilliant book. Forget what people say. It's really good. So this is what the prop CD looks like from the HPLHS. So that's that. And I've also got this PS1 game called Necronomicon. This is utter shit. It's like a point and click game. The disc doesn't even work. It's crap. I wouldn't recommend it. So in terms of movies, there's been quite a few movies. The ones I've got, this I really love, the Dunwich Horror. This is from the 70s, really good, but I had to get it region 1. Almost all Lovecraft movies you've got to get region 1, which is really annoying. This one, The Resurrect, is like a TV movie, but it's actually brilliant. It's from Charles Dexter Ward, and it's a really close adaptation. It looks crap, but it's really good. This one's the most famous, Stuart Gordon's Reanimator. It's in a cool box which comes with a needle pen. I'm not so keen on it, but you know, people like it. He also made Dagon, which is brilliant. This is actually The Shadow over Innsmouth. That's a good movie. It's from the 2000s. And Castle Freak, which is my favourite Stuart Gordon adaptation, is really good. So every year in America they have a Lovecraft film festival, and this is one of the DVDs from the festival which collects loads of short films. This didn't cost me too much, but now you can't buy these DVDs basically. They're just too expensive. And then this is an animated version of Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, which is alright, it's pretty good. And then this is my stocking, which is a tentacle, which I also got from HPLHS. So these are my comics. This one is John Coulthardt's Haunter of the Dark. There's actually about 4 Lovecraft stories. They're incredibly detailed. It's all black and white. It's kind of cool, it's interesting, but I don't know if I'd actually recommend you buy it, just because it can be quite expensive. This is like this American part of this long series, so there are lots of little stories, all different artists. It's kind of varied. Some are okay, some aren't so good. Yeah, I'm not so keen on that one. These ones are amazing though, they're really posh. So this company started out with At the Mountains of Madness, full colour. It's like a simplified style, but it doesn't matter, it's just brilliant. It's a really good adaptation of the story. I would definitely recommend that. So then they went on and did, so this is the same kind of people, did this Lovecraft anthology. So this is just more shorter stories collected in one series. Varied artists, but really, really good. And then they did Case of Tales X the Ward, my favourite story. Again, brilliant. Would definitely recommend these. And then they did a second volume. I think they've done one more after this, which I haven't got yet, which is, I think it's The Colour Out of Space. Or maybe The Shadow Out of Time, I can't remember, but yeah, they're pretty good. Let me just get one other thing I've got in my comics is these Batman and Lovecraft crossover. These are pretty cool. Kind of a weird artist, but it's a really good story, really well written, and it really works. That's the important thing. So these are a few things that I've framed. This is my movie poster from the Lovecraft Society's Call of Cthulhu movie. I think they've redesigned the poster since this one that I bought, but I really love this, and I think it's fantastic in a frame. Then I've got, this is a page from the Necronomicon, which came with one of their radio plays, which I've just framed there and put a little label on it. And then this came from the Mountains of Madness CD, and it's like a newspaper about the Antarctic expedition, and then a couple of photographs, like Polaroids from the city beyond the mountain. So yeah, that's those. So these are my Fantasy Flight board games. These are incredible, such high quality. They one of the first ones they did, the most famous for, is this Arkham Horror. It's quite a complicated board game. It's not for casual gamers, but it's just amazing. It's very detailed. You got a hell of a lot of stuff in there. I'm going to just try and show you a bit of the board. It's just really plush, full colour, excellent game. So they followed that up with Mansions of Madness. Now this is my favourite. This is like a miniatures game. It's a lot more expensive, but it is a really, really solid board game. So you get all these little miniatures, and I won't go through it in too much detail, but it's just really good. And the board is these little tile things, like double-sided. You can get loads of games out of it. It's just a brilliant, brilliant board game. Definitely recommend that. And then they had like a shorter two-player game, Elder Sign. You can get this as an app, and I would definitely recommend the app. The app's pretty close to the board game, and it is really good fun. It's like quite simplified, but yeah. And then the new one is Eldritch Horror, which is similar to Arkham Horror, but again, yeah, really good. I would definitely recommend that. So the best bits of my Lovecraft collection would be the Dark Adventure Radio Theatre plays by the LPLHS, which are absolutely amazing, and I even got them in this kind of box, which I've already shown you. But they are just so incredible to get that kind of thing. It's like a movie, but with no, budget, so you don't have to worry. It's all like in your head, so it's kind of your imagination, which is the whole point of Lovecraft. And these are just done so incredibly well. They're just so realistic, so believable. And the best thing is that the CDs come with all of the like props and stuff that you can put out and you can frame and you can do whatever you want with them. So it's this whole added element to the kind of the whole package that they're selling you, and it's just so worth the money. They're incredible. So that's definitely a high point. And the other one is my Necronomicon, my good solid copy of all of his stories. I mean, there's a lot of criticism about this particular collection. There's like another version by Barnes and Nobles, and apparently it's a better edit in that. So you might want to go with that. To be honest, I don't really think there's a huge difference. I mean, I read different versions to the edits that are in here, but then I've reread them in here, and I don't really think it makes that big a difference. You're still going to get basically Lovecraft. It's just going to be the odd word here or there which is different. But just to have a big black leather book that says Necronomicon on it is worth it. I mean, it's just such a fantastic thing to have. I love it. So there you go. So those are my favourite bits, and that was my Lovecraft collection.